Hey guys, what's going on? So, pretty awesome day. Was only at the charts at the computer, back at the computer from lunch until close today, 3 o'clock for me, but still turned out to be a really great day. A lot of solid price action. A lot of people thought it was bad price action. I thought it was fantastic. A lot of clear indications. We didn't have, FEGs being violated and then reviolated. Like everything was pretty well respected ever since we took the daily lows on ES, YM, and NQ all took daily lows today, and that turned out to be the bottom of the day. And it's another reason why you always need to look at your and always know where your daily close, where your yesterday's daily high and daily low are, because once one gets swept, we like to go back the opposite direction. That's exactly what happened today. So going back to ES. So this morning, I thought we were going to start getting bearish because we started to break this weekly fair value here. But you see, after we took the daily lows, which I'll show you here in 1 second, you'll see we still held this. So this weekly is still holding, as well as YM is. Well, you see, YM took its lows today. It hit its daily FEG and then boom, and then it's still holding the weekly as well. As you can see, it tapped into it today, and also obviously uh, expanded out of it. Same thing for NQ. You can see it took the lows here, took all this liquidity that was sitting here, it took those lows, and it's still sitting in this daily fair value. However, if this if NQ gets back below 277, I think we're gonna run these two lows right here. So this low, these lows are from the AM session back in early July, and so is this. These are both like 10:30 AM lows on both days. So if this one gets ran, I would expect this one to get ran as well. So that's what I'll be looking at to the downside. To the upside, back to probably 15,600 area, I would say, or at least back to the top of these candles. We'll get a better look once we get to the hourly charts. So yes, same thing on the daily. You see, it still held this daily after it took these lows. It's because it's 2 days of stops that are sitting there. So you see, wicked them, and then display spec up pretty nicely. However, the uptrend looked very algorithmic, so it might just dump right back. We'll have to see. But everything looks bullish. Especially ES looks a little more bullish than NQ does right now. Uh, if you go to NQ or ES on the hourly chart, or on the let's look at the 4 hour. So this is going to be my condition for tonight, assuming ES closes this here in about 8 minutes. We're going to have this 4 hour BPR, which is your inverse FEG and your regular FEG. Well, we're not going to have another FEG for another 4 hours. So this 4 hour inverse will be very telling. So if we can hold this, we're gonna run back to 45.40, 45.41. We should run back to these highs, and then maybe back to that 45.60 highs where we rejected this 4 hour up here that you can see. So but if we get back above here and we just displace back down, it's right back to 44.81 and lower. So back above 45.40 and 45.60, we'll call it, and the daily. I don't think if it rejects it, I don't know if ES runs all the way back down here because NQ is a lot closer to these levels than ES is. But I mean, it could. You'd be looking at 44.11, but ES might come down to like this FEG by time NQ gets down to these lows, and then you would have a bounce here while NQ takes these lows. So that's where I'd be looking. That's only if this 4 hour gets broken, but that's where I'm looking at tonight. My eyes will be on this 4 hour. NQ, kind of the same thing. Well, I want to stick with ES for a minute. So ES today was pretty nice. So you see ES took. We'll go to the 4 hour. It's a little bit easier to see that we were just on. So these were the lows that we swept today. You can see this was like by the time we get down and start taking these lows, this is when a lot of retail traders are starting to pile into puts, and this is when they don't realize we're about to take lows and head back up, and this is where a lot of people get wrecked in the market because they don't understand like liquidity sitting here, and so we took the lows. We had a daily FVG, we had this 4 hour, and remember we had the weekly, is the weekly FVG as well. So you can see how we're kind of like, displacing back up. We had a very, very, very nice move going back up, and then then there was a beautiful entry as well on ES. So ES had a 5 minute inverse right here. So you can see we kept rejecting, kept rejecting, and then we finally closed above it, and then we retested, and then that's all she wrote. You would target back to this high, and then you probably take some off of this 5 minute FVG, and then there's also the 15s that we also violated, and you could have wrote it back to 45.11, and then Bookmap today told us that there was orders all the way back up to 45.20. That's why I kept calling for 45.20, into the end of the day, and that's exactly what happened. Uh, so ES, another bullish thing for ES. You can see if you didn't catch that 5 minute inverse, if you didn't see it, this would have been another nice entry off the 15 today. Uh, and then you could have did the same thing with this 15 inverse as well, because once NQ once ES close above here, boom, retest, target this high, and then maybe like the next uh, high of that 45.20 or that psych level that people would be looking to sell, but Bookmap told us there was orders sitting there. So very, very nice price action. So this 15 FVG that ES is in, NQ, if you look at it on the 15, is struggling still with that. So we'll get rid of this FVG. So you can see this is the FVG that NQ is struggling with right now. It's lagging ES. That's why I said it's a little bit weaker. So this is what I'm watching for NQ overnight. So I'm watching the 4 hour inverse on ES, and I'm watching this 15 on NQ. If NQ gets back above here, which I think it's going to, I think ES kind of is telling us that story already, especially with that inverse. I think NQ is going to get above here. You see, we got this nice LR here that's formed, uh, and I would expect this to run back to, I'm going to say 446 tomorrow, as long as we get above this. However, you can see like this uptrend, we didn't form many FEGs, but so it's not saying that it's like a very, very, very strong move. We didn't displace. It was kind of just like slow action, slow grinding up. So I do want to see us get above this. If we break back below, I mean, we're going to be looking at, 312 again, back to, these 217 levels. And I believe ES left some equal lows down at 45. ES left some equal lows down here at 45.04 that you can see right here. So that's something to keep an eye on. It's a chance we could wick back down, take those equal lows, and then go back up. But so yeah, just keep an eye on the 15 on NQ going into tonight. Want to see that get above, and you want to see ES hold that 4 hour. One more thing. So I already showed you the trade on NQ we took this morning. That was a winning. Actually, no, I didn't actually. Well, I showed you the possible entries from this afternoon. So this afternoon, I gave an alert. We took a long position on NQ at 1525. So what I seen this little downtrend forming here, and I seen us holding. There was also a 5 minute FVG here, but I'm going to show you. There's this tiny 15 here that we kept respecting, and on the 5 minute there was two 5 minute fair values that we're holding, and just it was more of a intuition play. Like the end of the day, we always like to see like expansion. Plus, we hadn't yet taken out that 45.20 level on ES, so I thought we would at least go do that. So we took a long position down here at 325, and I wanted this to target 345, which is where we hit 345. We trimmed here, went to break even, and then I think we ended up just getting out at 15 350 and locking in that trade. So we caught 30 30 handles on NQ in about 2 minutes. So very very quick money, but I mean it worked out. And then final thing I want to show you is ES from this or ES NQ from this morning on the 5 minute. So we didn't get very much out of this trade this morning, but it still worked. So where was it? 8:30 this morning would have been right here. Okay, so same same concept this morning. We took some lows. We took Monday's lows right here. You can see. So this was before market open. You see, we took the lows, and then we started to displace up, and then we violated this 5 minute bearish FVG. You can see as soon as we closed above it right here, we'll make it a little bit bigger for you guys. So we got the close above. This candle retested. We bought, I think at 13,355, and then we went to break even and targeted these equal highs at 15,370. And then we went to break even with our next target up here at this at the FEG at 94 and then 410. But as you guys can see, the FEGs held, and then that's when the decline started. So we still got to trim in, and we got stopped at break even when we sliced back down through. But again, another reason why you go to break even. So with that, pretty good video. Yeah, keep an eye on the 4 hour on ES and the NQ 15 minute, and that should give us a good idea for what's going to happen going into tomorrow. Hope you guys have a good night. We'll talk to you later.